to share a story with you today about one of my most recent experiences with my own personal health care. So basically, the last few years, actually, it's been a while, I've kind of fallen into this little mommy void where I was just so focused on making sure that my children's healthcare needs were met that my own just kind of fell by the wayside. And I just wasn't making my own personal health care as much as a priority as I used to. So I went ahead and decided to make myself a priority again. And I was like, I'm going to call my doctor and make some preventive care appointments for myself and kind of get back up there. And so I called the doctor's office and, I'm so excited. And they unfortunately told me that since I am now on Medicaid, that they no longer considered me a patient and told me that I needed to go ahead and find a different provider. And it really didn't seem right to me because this is a huge network down here and they're a not-for-profit organization and they have accepted the Medicaid before, even recently, and I know they accept it. And so it just didn't make any sense. So I did kind of inquire a little bit and was like, can you tell me why? And I was like, this doesn't really make any sense. And the lady just pretty much was like, well, if you were pregnant, we would help you and bill it. But since you're not pregnant, then we can't help you. So she was kind of like hinting that I needed to like get pregnant if I wanted those services. And I'm like, oh God. So I went ahead, I just kind of accepted it, even though I know better, and went ahead and found a different provider. I called back, and the lady at the call center that was helping me to try to get my records transferred over, we were talking, and I just kind of shared with her that, I was really uneasy about it all, and it just didn't make sense to me since they've had no problem accepting the public assistance before, and, they've been treating us, my family and I, for 8 years or so now. And I was like, I think I kind of want to place a formal complaint at this point. And I asked her if she would transfer me to administration. And she totally did. She completely understood my concern and how it really didn't make sense, because it really didn't make a lot of sense to her either. So she transferred me, and I got another really awesome person to help me. And I shared my experience. I wasn't mean or nasty. I just really, even though I was putting a formal complaint in, I was just sharing my experience and my concerns and my worries. And the lady I spoke with was just as shocked as I was, and said that it really didn't make sense, and that she apologized, and she let me know that she was just the assistant to the person that could help me. However, that as soon as that person came back from their meeting, she definitely would be sharing my story with her. And she took my contact information and said they'd be getting back with me. Not even an hour later, I got a call, but it was actually from the doctor's office within that healthcare system. And they were apologizing, and they were explaining to me that there must have just been some unfortunate miscommunication or misunderstanding somewhere, that there was no problem billing that insurance for those services, and they went ahead and fit me in for the appointments that I needed. So this really just kind of reminded me that, oh my gosh, I need to use my voice more, because it's like I momentarily forgot that I had one. I just accepted what the lady on the phone had told me, and I didn't think to contact someone higher up at first. I just rolled over and accepted it. And I know better, because I actually used to be a case manager for a not-for-profit. And my job was advocating healthcare for individuals and helping with treatment plans and the progression of treatment plans for individuals and their healthcare needs. So I was really also kind of upset with myself, because I was like, I know better, and I can't believe that I almost lost my voice, and I almost didn't advocate for my own health care. And I think it's just really easy. It's an example to show how easy it is to not think to be an advocate for yourself, and that's one of the most important things we can do, and is to not lose that voice, because that's one thing that we can definitely control is our voice. And I just, I want this story to really help motivate you. And if it resonates with you, especially because since my household and I are more recently on public assistance, I have not always needed it. I'm not used to it at all. I come from used to having private everything and being very independent and not needing help. So I think one of the reasons why I did just kind of roll over and accept that first explanation was because, I've gotten in that mindset where I am just grateful for whatever help I can get. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm just glad that I can get this. So I guess I'll just be glad, and happy with whoever can provide any of these services to me. So I mean, that's, I think, why I just kind of accepted it at first. But don't lose your voice. Be an advocate for yourself, because we are the only people who are going to put our personal health care needs above anything else. And we can't ask someone else to help us or expect other people to help us if we don't help ourselves. So that's my takeaway from this, and that's why I wanted to share this story. And I actually even got some motivation from a quote that I saw on social media, and I want to share that with you. It's victory is always possible for the person who refuses to stop fighting. So don't ever stop fighting for you or your family's health and well-being, because, I mean, without that, it's just so easy to fall from there. So be great advocates for yourself and your loved ones, and I hope you stay well.